Okay, guys, we are having a test Wednesday. Going to be over percent proportions, and just regular old proportions. I have a couple older concepts that we've learned, okay, but it's mostly going to be on this. Okay, so let's look at 16. Bradley completed 3/5 of his homework. What percent of his homework does he still need to complete? Okay, so this is a very simple one. All right, 3/5 equals what? We need to convert from a fraction, 3/5 to a percent. Okay, so we know whenever we have fifths, we know that whenever we have fifths, we have 0.20. Okay, 0.25 times equals 100%. We know that a percent means out of what? Out of 100. Okay, so 3 out of 5 equals what out of 100? Well, how do I get from 5 to 100? I multiply by 20, of course. Okay, so that means I need to multiply 3 times 20, and that's going to give me 60. So we know that he completed 60%. So if he completed 60%, how much more does he need to complete? Well, we're trying to get to 100, so obviously he needs to complete 40%. Okay, so at this point in time, guys, you should already know that whenever you have fifths, each unit is 20%, or each unit is 0.20, 0.20. After reading a book for English class, 100 students were asked whether or not they enjoyed it. 9/25 of the class did not like the book. How many students liked the book? Okay, so 9/25. Now, this is written out. 9 out of 25. It's written out in words. Okay, but I'm going to write it in numbers. 9 out of 25. They did not like it. So how many liked it? Okay, so we need to figure out what's 9/25 of 100 students. Okay, so what I can do is just multiply 9/25 times 100. Okay, so that gives me, how do I multiply fractions? Straight across. Straight across. So that gives me 900 over 25. Okay, now I divide 900 by 25. What's that going to give me? Okay, so I know 100 divided by 25 is 4. So if I got 9 of those, 9 times 4 is 36. Okay, so 36 did not like it. They didn't like it. Arrow down. So if there's 100 students, how many did like it? Well, I just take 100 minus 36. 100 minus 40 is 60. So just add 4. So 64 did. So 64 liked it. Simple, right? Easy breezy. Okay, so finding the percent of a number. All we do is convert our percent to a decimal, and then we multiply that decimal by the number. Okay, that's method A. Okay, there's other methods that you can use. You guys know that. We've gone over this in class. Another thing that we can do is find 1% or find 10% or find the percent that is that best fits our problem. So for number 3, I could do 0.04 because to convert from percent to a decimal, I move my decimal place over 2 times. I can do 0.04 times 75. Okay, or I can say 1% of 75 is 0.75. Okay, because to find 1%, I move my decimal over 2 times to the left. Okay, if I want to find 10%, I move my decimal over 1 time to the left. So 0.75 is 1%. So if I want to find 4%, I just do 0.75 times 4. Okay, so 0.75 times 2 is what? 150. So that would be 150 times 2 is 3. It would be 1.50 times 2 is 3. Okay, so that would be the same thing that you would get if you just multiplied these. Okay, different ways to use it. I try to find the easiest way for me. All right, 6, 12% of 50. 10% of 50 is 5, because I move my decimal over one time. That's 10% of 50. 1% of 50 is 0.5. I move it over. So if I know 1% is 0.5, 10% is 5, I'm going to find 2%. 2% is 0.5 times 2, which is 1. Okay, so if I know 2% is 1, I know 10% is 5. I add those two together. 1 plus 5 is 6. 500% of 25. I know 100% of 25 is 25. 500% is just 25 times 5, which is 125. Okay? Easy. All right. So he has a budget of $2,500. Tom does. How much does he spend on groceries? So all we need to do is look at groceries. Groceries is 25%. So I need to find 25% of his his $2,500 budget. Okay, so I'll find a quarter of that. So 2,500 over 1 times a quarter, which is 1 over 4. Okay, multiply straight across. So I end up with 2,500 divided by 4. Okay, so uh 625. What did I do there? Oh yeah, that out the way. Okay, 625. All right, and let's see. Outstanding. All right, convert to improper fraction. Find 50% and 10%, then compute accordingly. Okay, simple. All right, which is the reciprocal? Okay, improper fraction times plus. All right, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, so this is 5 over 3. What's the reciprocal? 3 over 5. Reciprocal just means opposite. You switch the numerator and denominator. 40%. Okay, so let me take 50%. I know 50% is 100. 50%, right? Okay, so, but I'm trying to figure out what 40% is. So let me take 10%, okay, is 20. So I'm going to add that 50% is 100, right? Now I'm trying to find 40%, so I need to take off 10%. So I need to take off 20. So take off 120. So minus 100 is 100 plus, and minus 20 is 80. Okay. Okay, so for this one, we're going to create a proportion. Okay, so she saved 3,000 last year. She saved 600 in the month of January. What percent of the total amount did she save last year? What percent did she save in January, basically? Percent of the total. So she saved 600 out of 3,000. Okay. What percentage is that? Okay, so we have our whole. We know that 3,000 is our whole because she saved 3,000 in 1 year. Okay, so that's our whole. That's our 100%. So we're trying to figure out how much she saved or what percentage is 600. So to go from 3,000 to 100, we divide by 30, right? Let's see, 3,000 divided by 30. That cancels out that 0, and these 3's turn into 100. All right, so 600 divided by 30. 600 divided by 3 is 200. Divided by 30 is 2. I mean, 20. Okay, so A. Okay, 600 divided by 30 to 60, 0, 0, 20%. Okay, we're setting up a proportion for this one as well. Anna can buy 3 sweatshirts for a total of $45. That's our first ratio. So 3 sweatshirts for $45. Okay, let's make sure we label. Okay, make sure we label the shirts. Okay, Devin, I'm gonna make sure to send this to your mom so she can hear you interrupting me. Okay, and it's still recording. Okay, so how much would it cost if she were to buy 5 sweatshirts at the same price? So 5, that's sweatshirts, and then this is our cost. Okay, so from 3 to 5 times 1 point, let's see, 5 divided by 3. So we gotta do that here. Okay, so that's 6, 18, okay, 16.6 or 1.66. So 1 2/3 basically, because 1.66 is 1 2/3. Okay, I could also, to make it easier, is if I reduce this. So 45 divided by 3 is 15. So I can change this to 1/15. So it'll be a little bit easier. 1/15. Okay. 1 times 5 is 5. 15 times 5 is 15 times 4 is 60, so 75. Okay. Okay, the other proportion, ratio of pens to pencils is 4 to 5. So 4 pens to 5 pencils. Big P for pens, little p for pencils. Okay, if he has 16 pens, 16 pens. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the other way around. Erase that here. Okay, 4 to 5. But big P for pens. Okay, so you have 16 pens. How many pencils? Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. So that means I'm going to do 5 times 4. Which is 20. 20 pencils. All right. 20%. Okay, so we're looking at the chart or the table, trying to figure out how many pieces of yellow clothing does she own. So 20% of her pieces of clothing are yellow. Okay, if Kathy has 145 pieces, the only thing we need to do is find 20% of 145. Now I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to first find 10%. How do I find 10%? Take my decimal point, I move it one place to the left. 14.5. So I know 10% is 14.5. So 20% is going to be times 2 of that. Times 2 equals 20%. So 14.5 times 2 is 29. So 14 times 2 is 28. 5.5 times 2 is 1, so 29. All right. Okay, that's it.